Bro, I don't give a fuck, bro. They held me down and they made me watch little kids get... I don't give a fuck anymore.
Where?
Bro, they fucking took me to the fucking woods, bro, and they fucking tied... I'm not fucking joking, bro. I have fucking proof, bro. I don't give a fuck. Bro, I fucking will show you every fucking video you could ever fucking believe. Bohemian Grove is real. They fucking tied me down and they made me fucking watch.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Goon Turned God. I'm back with another video. Now, I know y'all been hearing about all these wild conspiracy theories that's been floating around the internet lately about the Bohemian Grove, and these claims are coming from this famous boxer, Ryan Garcia.
I got the Epstein names. If you want me to start dropping them, Oprah. What? Who cares? I do. What do you mean?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And this is all like this stuff.
Tom Hanks. Whose else is on that list? We already know who's on that list. That's why they're scrambling. They're scared, bro. They're scamming. They're like, ooh, oh no, fuck. So they're trying to run. They're trying to get into bunkers. They're all hiding. Why do you think they're hiding? Why do you think Mark's building that got him.
Now, he was basically saying that he was born into this occult family, you know, that they made him witness all type of horrific things, you know, when it comes to, you know, messing with children or, you know, doing certain sacrifices at the Bohemian Grove. And, you know, like a lot of people were kind of shocked, you know, when they first heard about this information or whatnot. But I didn't hear too many people giving credit to Alex Jones, one of the greatest Americans ever born on this earth, who brought us all this information in the past.
Well, here we are, folks. Turning on to the Bohemian Highway and Bohemian Grove. We're going to find out what in the New World Order is going on here.
There's a guard gate right over there, a small guard gate, and then back further, an even more elaborate guard gate with surveillance cameras, you name it. Not a through road, ladies and gentlemen, right up here in Northern California.
What do you think about Bohemian Grove?
I used to work there.
You used to work there?
Yeah.
And now you work at Camp Meeker?
No, I don't work. Yeah, I live in Camp Meeker.
Oh, you live there?
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Did you ever watch the cremation of care?
No.
What'd you do at the...
I just worked there.
But, I mean,
yeah.
you never saw them march around in the red robes? And
No.
Oh, really? That doesn't go on?
But yeah.
Okay. And, you know, people always like to say, oh, Alex Jones is a white supremacist, he's racist, you know. He comes up with all these theories just to incite violence and to spread misinformation and whatnot.
Keep in mind the scale of the idol compared to those giant redwood trees. It's at least 45 feet tall. This is America, and it's been going on for 120 plus years in Northern California. This is not some new fad. We're talking about something deadly serious with its roots in ancient history. Upon further research of the ritual you've just witnessed, it becomes clear. It is a mixture of the Babylonian Canaanite cult of Moloch fused with ancient Druidic rites where you have the female side of Satan, which they first call out to in the she, and then towards the horn god with the he, mixed with Masonic rites from Scotland. It's very likely that many of the 1,500 to 2,000 member crowd had really no idea what they were actually watching because it was thinly veiled. Here we have some more enhanced video as the boatman, again with his face painted up like a skull, pulls his boat across the small lake towards the high priest with the red of his cloak visible, with his hand outstretched as if he is pulling the damned soul towards him as they throw off their cares, their conscience for what they have to do in the world.
And, you know, like a lot of people were happy whenever all these big corporations and media companies had got them canceled. You know, they even went as far as like Visa, I think it was, like the payment company, they even canceled them. They even like stopped some of his payments or whatnot. And it was just a whole conglomerate of all these big corporations basically ganging up on this great American who was blessing us with all this great information. And I know, you know, of course, not all of his information was completely factual or whatnot, but he was the only one who was giving these different type of theories, these different type of ideas to keep Americans' minds open and not closed in a straight line. You know, it's always good to hear outside information. You don't have to take it as fact. It's just good to hear other theories other than the standard. And, you know, that's what we don't have in this world right now. Luckily, Elon Musk, you know, let Alex Jones back on Twitter whenever he had bought it. So, you know, you can tune into the Alex Jones show on Twitter if you would like to. For a long time, you know, they actually canceled this man. You know, they complained about his Sandy Hook allegations when he completely apologized for it.
Alex Jones' stunning admission came during a contentious cross-examination.
It's 100% real.
Finally conceding the Sandy Hook school shooting did happen. After years of insisting on his Infowars show, the massacre was a hoax.
How could you believe any of it? It's 100% real.
You know, you got these big media companies who actually spread actual violence, you know, like CNN, Fox News, who actually race bait and incite people to do crazy things. You had this dude, Micaiah Johnson, I believe it was, back in the day, and he literally went insane and went to Dallas and did a mass shooting or whatnot because he was so heavily influenced by media, social media, to where he, you know, got caught up in a whole Black Lives Matter thing and, you know, was like, oh, you know, like the white man is after us or whatnot, and was heavily influenced by media. And this is what drove him to go and commit that crime.
We're getting a closer look at his motive and what investigators found inside his home.
Authorities say this is the deadly sniper, Micah Xavier Johnson, a former military man who went hunting for police, specifically white officers.
One officer down. There appears to have been one gunman with no known links to or inspiration from any international terrorist organization.
Law enforcement sources tell ABC News Johnson was armed for his shooting spree with an assault rifle and 2 handguns.
It's been a tale of cowardice by an assassin.
Johnson served in the Army Reserve from 2009 until 2015, doing a tour in Afghanistan. According to police, his Facebook page reveals some of that rage against police. He liked a page which said, quote, "Kill everything blue that moved."
I honestly, around that time, I completely disassociated myself from social media, and I honestly didn't get back on until I started creating YouTube videos, until I used social media as a tool to like assist me or whatnot. But social media will literally like drive you and pump you with all type of information to make you think a certain way. And that's what I loved about Alex Jones. He always, you know, kept people with an open mind. You know, back in the day, I also loved people like Tim Pool, who used to work for Vice, because he was on the ground, you know, showing people live streams about what was actually going on in the world. But you're gonna have some people who complain about Vice as well, talking about that they were leaning more left or they were leaning more right back in the day or whatnot. People just get so distracted by the things that don't matter, and they can't just sit back in third person and see the situation for what it is. You know, you don't have to believe in everything that somebody says. You can take information from people and, you know, just move along your day with it. But when Ryan Garcia released this information and whatnot, it kind of, you know, brought up back this situation when it comes to Bohemian Groves, when it comes to cults, and when it comes to all these theories that people been thinking about for years and years and years.
Here to announce my return back to Instagram. Now, over these past couple of days, you guys have seen some pretty intense things. I understand what they are and I understand what they look like. But I'm coming back to announce I'm not going to speak on any other topic other than boxing, sports, and my fight. That's the only thing I'm going to be talking about. And I'm training for this fight. I want everybody to know this fight's still on. 420, 5 weeks of super focus. I have PBD helping me in this camp and many other warriors. So I thank you guys for the support, and I'll see you guys on 420.
And sadly, you know, you don't really have big influencers talking about this type of information anymore. When it comes to these occults, you know, whether it's Masons.
It's the world's most well-known secret society. Rich with symbols and ritual, it's the source of legends, parodies.
Who controls the British crown? Who keeps the metric system down? We do. We do.
And conspiracy theories.
because so much organized crime uses the Masonic secret system and the good old boy network to be able to get away with murder. And I mean murder.
Welcome to the world of Freemasonry.
Whether it's the Jack and Jill, whether it's Prince Hall Masonry.
We as Freemasons use the idea of the certain tools to build a better spiritual and physical body. So when they're talking about building an actual structure, we're working on improving and building a better personal structure for that man.
On June 29th, 1925, the first 4 Wisconsin lodges were established in Milwaukee, Madison, and Beloit under the first most worshipful Grand Master, L.B. Shepherd. Samuel Stotts is the current leader of around 550 Prince Hall Masons throughout the state, which also includes Racine and Kenosha. He explains that a part of being a Mason is having belief in a higher being and a commitment to community and country.
Whether it's Skulls and Bones.
On October 9th, 1701, Yale University was founded with the mission to prepare youth for public employment both in church and civil state. But Yale's earliest origins begin in the 1640s with a group of ministers who simply wanted to establish a theocracy in a college to educate its leaders. For a university with such humble, churchly beginnings, it's shocking then that one of their oldest secret society's initiation rituals historically was rumored to include sharing the intimate details of one's full sexual history. Shrouded in secrecy, this is everything we've dug up on Skull and Bones.
Whether it's any of these occults, you don't really have too many people bringing this information forward anymore, and that's because they're scared to get canceled, they're scared to be striked with misinformation and all this other kind of nonsense, But this is why, me personally, I always had so much respect for Alex Jones, and I do to this day. I used to joke around back in the day calling Alex Jones my stepdad because he was just so influential to me. And I didn't take every word for word that this man said, because obviously he was trying to build a brand for him. Obviously he was trying to trigger people with the titles and with the stories that he was telling. But if you step back in third person and actually understood this information that he was releasing, and you can come up with your own theories later on, but at least he brought you that information to think for yourself about. One thing that I am greatly appreciative for Alex Jones is that I was actually raised in a Prince Hall Masonry church, and I didn't even notice this until I got older, like in my teens or whatnot. And then I really started, just paying attention to, what Alex Jones was saying. But my dad's side of the family, they're very successful. They went to college and all that other stuff, but they were also heavily involved into fraternities. And, like my grandma, she was in the Alpha Omegas or whatnot. And I believe she was associated with the Jack and Jill occult as well. But it took people like Alex Jones and my uncle, who, yes, they're Christian, which I think is a cult as well. But luckily, they actually took the time to show me certain symbols and certain hand gestures that were associated with these occults. And who's to say, this information probably saved me from joining one of these fraternities because I was actually informed. And one creepy situation I could definitely point out was one time when my grandma actually took me to the bank. We're in like the safe area, where we keep like all our precious like family jewels or whatever, like throughout the years or whatnot. And she actually like told me about like these fraternities and about like all of this creepy stuff. And she told me, whenever I felt ready, to, I guess, like to talk about this further or whatnot, then like I could come to her. But thankfully around that time I was already informed by people like Alex Jones and people like my uncle who actually did further research about these occults. And that's not to say that these occults don't have certain information that might be privy, that might be actually something helpful to teach you in this world. But to actually get caught up in the occult, to actually, believe in everything that they do or whatnot, and to just be a part of that group mentality is extremely dangerous. And me personally, I feel the same way about this with religion. With most of these occults, you can't even join if you're not a part of a religion, because they want people who are easy to influence, people who are easy to manipulate, people who look up to the sky and look up to something to follow. You know, these people know the type of individuals that they want to influence and that they want in their group. I've always been iffy about groups and just that group mentality because it always leads to something creepy like religion or like when it comes to one of these occults or whatnot. And, you know, if you're not able to think as an individual and, you know, step in that third person and, you know, just see the world for what it is, then that's very dangerous. You can easily get caught up in one of these occults, or you can get caught up in just being too deep into a religion to where it can blind you from reality and get you caught up in doing some crazy things that you never thought that you would do. I've always been interested in cults, and mainly the cult leaders. Not really the followers, because they're just birds to me. You know, they'll do basically like whatever they're told. But like, as far as the cult leaders, I just find it very interesting how they're able to manipulate the masses of people. You know, some people can even say that Jesus wasn't a cult leader. But I just find people like that very interesting, you know? And you can always take information from them about how to live your life. But if you ever had experiences with occults, or if you ever had experiences with family members being too caught up in religion, I would definitely like to know. And if you like these type of topics and discussions, always feel free to join the Discord. It'll be a link down in the description below. And I'll catch y'all on the next video, all right?